Back.
Yeah, and of course, there's only so many of these little sound bites that I can play from Saturday Night Live because this is Morning Drive, and there's just some things that I didn't want to air. But, you know, one of the things that they talk about, of course, and this has been a very big deal that a lot of the media is trying to say, is that he is anti-gay. You know, you got Randy McNally, anti-gay. Well, he's not anti-gay. I also don't believe that he is anti-LGBTQ, clearly. But one of the things that they're pointing out, of course, is that he is supposedly anti-drag, which I would say that he's also not. He supports protecting kids from making life-changing and oftentimes irreversible procedures and surgeries until after the age of 18. Duh. And drag shows cannot be performed in front of kids. That's it. So when you look at how the media is spinning this, they are absolutely gleeful that he has been caught doing this, what I would say, and I think most people are saying, this very weird and bizarre behavior on social media with the fire emojis and the heart emojis of this very young gay guy on Instagram.
Right. No, I think there's just maybe some confusion about your beliefs.
Colin, I stand by my traditional values. I believe a woman should be in the home and a man should be 143 pounds and dancing to Dua Lipa.
Okay, okay, yes, you're very cute, but you are claiming these interactions are innocent, but it does not look good.
Colin, I'm just looking out for the little guy, Joe Average, every Tom, Dick, and hairless.
Okay.
Yeah, part of what I thought was interesting is they made the lieutenant governor look awfully effeminate. And so what they're clearly trying to do, obviously, is mock him. They're trying to make him look stereotypically gay or whatever. But the whole thing just looked bizarre. But, of course, as everyone knows, this whole story itself is incredibly strange. Here's more from Saturday Night Live.
Why are you interacting with these young men? Why?
Because I'm talking to voters or people who could vote in the future.
Okay.
I'm a proud conservative. I respect police officers, firefighters, and any man who puts his body on line for others.
Do you mean on the line for others?
What did I say? By the way, any chance you can print me out another map quest? I'm trying to get to Flaming Saddles.
All right.
So, Flaming Saddles, of course, a gay bar in New York. And these photos of this guy and these guys, there was more than just one. A bunch of young guys, apparently, with Instagram accounts. It does look bizarre and rather creepy for the lieutenant governor. So my first thought when, again, I'm sitting on the beach reading all of this last week was probably what your first reaction was. Maybe he got hacked or someone was pretending to be McNally online, but he came out, and as you know, he not only admitted that it was him, but that he didn't see anything wrong with the posts. He said that he just wanted to be encouraging. From Rolling Stone, this is how they put this whole thing. McNally is not hiding from the story. His office released a statement emphasizing that the lieutenant governor loves social media and takes great pains to view every post that he can. It's probably not helping from his communications office. They say that he also had no intention of stopping. McNally, as you know, even sat down for an interview with Nashville's News Channel 5, Phil Williams. And I got to tell you, I face-palmed on that interview when they talk about how he takes great pains to see every post. He has no intention of stopping. It's like, okay, that can actually be taken a number of different ways. And so then, of course, he did appear again with Phil Williams on Channel 5. And yes, he did apologize. Here's a little bit more from Saturday Night Live.
That I was flirting with a 20-year-old dancing around in his fine washables. That I made it legal to have guns in libraries, but not drag queens. That I publicly hate things that I secretly like. Both Republicans and Democrats are telling me to get off Instagram. And guess what? I will, because I forgot my password.
Randy McNally, everyone.
Make me a flaming...
And there you go. Saturday Night Live skewering the lieutenant governor for the state of Tennessee. And again, a lot of people are saying now that he does need to resign. This is part of my take on this whole thing, is that the left clearly is taking a lot of glee in this coverage. I mean, his life has been more than likely, I would say, destroyed. His reputation is in tatters. The left is feasting on this with a lot of glee. And so, yeah, this is apparently what he's going to be remembered by.
I've had some of my colleagues say that they're supportive, both Republican and Democrat, and I'm really, really sorry if I've embarrassed my family, embarrassed my friends, embarrassed any of the members of the legislature with the post. It was not my intent to, and not my intent to hurt them.
Yeah, that was, of course, his interview with Phil Williams. And so now the question is, should he resign? Of course, he was asked this question during the interview with Phil Williams. I've got part of that audio and the very latest straight ahead. It's 5:15. Time to check the roads from the Paul Winkler Investment WTN Traffic Center.
Things pretty quiet for you as you set out right now. 65 north and south, everything up speed. 40 east looks good out to the airport, and 40 west into town. 24 both directions into town. No congestion yet. I'm Jack Womack. Traffic every 10 minutes every morning on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Thank you, Jack. Today, partly cloudy, a high of 47. Right now, 42 degrees at Super Talk 99.7 WTN. By the way, the Super Text line is open, 615-737-9986, 615-737-9986. I guess Johnny, Super Talk TV, I'm assuming, is on as well. Can I just say, it's always weird to come back because I feel a little out of sorts. You guys ever feel that way?
Every day.
You've been gone for a while, and it's like, how the hell do I do this again?
Every minute of every day.
So I'm trying to make my way through this. The lieutenant governor, of course, everyone knows, on with Phil Williams last week.
Have you thought about resigning?
I think that's really up to the members of the Senate. I would serve at their pleasure, and it would be up there, my boss.
You know, I got to tell you that McNally, I think that's a very selfish response. I think that's a selfish response because he knows that he has put them in a very difficult position. Now, personally, I do believe that he needs to resign at the very least from his leadership position, not because I believe that he embarrassed his party, which he did, but because I think that his judgment is in serious question. Dude is 79 years old. And to me, the more that you read up on this story, you just have to ask the question, what the hell was he thinking? On Instagram, on an account that is clearly tied to his lieutenant governor account, he wasn't trying to hide it. And so, yes, clearly 79 years old, and his judgment is in question. I would even say that his judgment is impaired. In speaking to some of his colleagues off the record over the weekend, they have said that, yes, he is having some memory issues. He's having trouble remembering names and so forth. And now this. So I want to be clear. What someone does in their personal life is their business. My concern is his lack of judgment. This whole thing just doesn't make a whole heck of a lot of sense. He was doing this on an Instagram account that clearly identifies himself as the lieutenant governor. Now, you just heard him in that audio bite saying that it is up to the state Senate. It seems like he, at least when this interview was recorded, he has no intention of resigning. At least, again, not when this interview was done. Maybe perhaps it's going to be different today. Maybe he's had a change of heart. Today's the day when a lot of the lawmakers are back here in Nashville, and so there's going to be a lot of conversation. But to me, clearly he knows that he has put his fellow Republicans in a very difficult position. And so the question is, are they going to force him to step down? Are they going to, all the Republicans, Jack Johnson and the rest of these folks, are they going to have to pull him aside and say, look, you've put us in an impossible position. And so we can either do this the easy way or the hard way. The easy way is for you to say at 79 years old that I am not going to run for re-election. I am going to step down as lieutenant governor and speaker of the Senate. Or we can do this the hard way and have to go through the whole process of removing you from office. The guy that I don't want to be today is Jack Johnson, State Senator Jack Johnson, right? Majority Leader. You know, Randy McNally has been, for a lot of these folks, he's been in the state Senate and in Tennessee politics for years. And so he's been like a father figure to a lot of these folks, someone to be admired in Tennessee politics for decades, as a matter of fact. So this is really a tough one for a lot of these lawmakers, state lawmakers, again, back in Nashville this week. We'll have to see what happens. I do suspect, my prediction is that he will be resigning. I suspect that he'll be pulled aside and he'll be asked to resign. But one way or another, Randy McNally, again, not because of what he's doing in his personal life, but because it seems to me like his judgment is impaired. I mean, a lot of people are saying, well, this is a leftist attack, you know, like they did on Bill Lee with the supposed drag queen photo. To me, no. This is something that calls into question the mental competency of the lieutenant governor. That is why he needs to resign. 521, Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
A riot on the southern border, bank failures, the government stepping in, daylight savings setbacks, and a lesson in manners. These stories and more coming up at 5:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Always say please, always say thank you, among other things.
That's right, Brother Dan Mandis.
Thank you, Ken. I'm remembering what it was like because, my kids, my biological kids, of course, older and adults now, but with a little Riker who's 9.
Yeah.
It is like just a constant molding of, trying to get him to say please and say thank you and do all of the things that he needs to do. And I got to tell you, when you're a parent, it just feels like you're nagging all the time.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that when your kids are younger? It feels like you're nagging all the time. And I said that to Riker over the vacation. I know it may seem like I'm just always nagging you, but I'm trying to mold you into a better human.
Yeah.
Which he also didn't understand.
Well, my kids are nearly grown, and I'm still nagging them.
That's exactly right. I told my daughter about 3 or 4 months ago. The fatherly nagging never stops.
Never.
Never. It is 5:28 on Nashville's Morning News. By the way, the background here in the studio, my first time seeing it in person. And I don't know. I think it looks pretty good. The Super Talk TV is on. You can find us on Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and also the station website. Now, coming up during the Gang of Three Amigos, Johnny going to need some audio, by the way, here in the next minute or so. Coming up on the Gang of Three Amigos, we are going to talk about my vacation, tales from the my trip to Universal Studios in Florida. OMG and LOL. It is all straight ahead on Nashville's Morning News. And I got to tell you, fans are buzzing about an amazing new offer from my friends at FanDuel this month. Take your first shot at college hoops with FanDuel Sportsbook and get 10 times your first bet amount in bonus bets up to $200. Yes, just bet $200 on the brackets and you will land $200 in bonus bets whether you win or lose. It is all on an app that is safe, secure, and super easy to use. There's no better place to bet the tournament than FanDuel Sportsbook. Sign up today by going to FanDuel.com. Promo code Mandis. Remember, that is FanDuel.com. Promo code Mandis. Make every moment more with FanDuel all tournament long. Again, check them out at FanDuel.com. Promo code Mandis. And we got a lot more straight ahead on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. By the way, remember with FanDuel, 21 plus and present in Tennessee. First online, real money wager only. $10 deposit required. Refund issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See full terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call the Tennessee Red Line 800-889-9789.
Hi, I'm Paul Winkler. You often hear me talk about diversification in the investing process, but how do we diversify? Well, we look for things that move in dissimilar fashion historically. Some of those market areas might be really small companies or really large companies, or very growth-oriented companies or value-oriented companies. And one of the things that we find is that when we diversify between these various segments, we can reduce the volatility of the portfolio because they don't move in tandem with each other historically. Now we can do that in U.S. markets, we can do that in international markets, and in emerging markets. And when we can dampen that volatility, we can help get ourselves a little bit of a better outcome as far as knowing what we might likely have in the future or how we can take income from our investment portfolio. Now we also want to add fixed income or bonds to the mix as well. Now, if we know that we need to do this, what's the best way to do it? Well, one of the things that we often teach is this concept of market efficiency. This won the Nobel Prize in economics as well. And it's the idea that if I'm investing in, let's say, small value stocks, if we look at professional managers and their ability to say, hey, should I have this stock or that one or that one, and picking companies or areas of the market, we find that they typically get lower returns than the market does on its own. They just add expense and they can add a lot of volatility. One of the things we want to avoid is anything that can hurt your returns and increase your risk in the investing process. To learn more about our approach to investing and financial planning, go to paulwinkler.com and set up a free 15-minute phone call or call 615-851-1950.
Reporting on the latest news, traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
5:38, Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Time for the Gang of Three Amigos. Johnny, you get to be amigo number 1 today because you rocked it last week. Thank you very much for filling in for me.
My pleasure, and good to have you back, Brother Dan. Good morning.
No, it's really not.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
Not based on my first segment. That sucked. But I know why. I know why I feel like I'm just like
What are you
inside
talking
out
about?
today.
Yeah.
It's the whole spring forward thing. That's what it is.
It messed you up, did it?
It's that and all the drinking I did on my vacation. Holy Jesus.
Oh,
you
Brother
talk-
Dan, you didn't do that much.
You talk about spring forward.
Ken's here and I'm here, sort of.
Good morning, boys. Yeah.
So, number 1, again, Johnny, thank you for filling in. Number 2, it is spring forward, right? So we all know the health risks associated with spring forward.
Yeah.
You've got more traffic accidents on today, this morning, than any other morning, apparently, because of the whole spring forward thing. People are tired and grouchy and just out of sorts.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that's part of it. You also have an increased risk of heart attacks and strokes.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, all that stuff.
For me, I think mood disturbances is another one that they say is
Mood disturbances.
mood disturbances. Mood disturbances.
And plus, the mustache is gone.
Yes, right. The mustache is gone. So, first of all, I love how it was seemingly a perpetual topic of conversation on WTN
Yes,
when I
it
was
was.
gone last week.
It was, Brother Dan.
Good Lord, man. Come on. People are like, Murphy called it a caterpillar lip. A caterpillar lip.
The funniest, though, had to be, we said in one picture you looked like Walt from Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
It's where
yeah.
Riker had you buried in
Yes.
the sand with the sun in your eye. And we said, oh, it looks like Walt. And then Mac Morey had the line of the day. He said, yeah, Dan's got to meet with Tuco.
Yeah. He had a meeting with Tuco later in
See, that's
that
good.
morning.
It's a reference lost if you haven't seen Breaking Bad, but
Yes.
very funny.
It was funny.
People also thought I sounded like I looked like G. Gordon Liddy.
Yeah, that's right.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah. Well,
G. Gordon.
so you know what the inspiration was? I kid you not. You know what the inspiration was for me to shave off my mustache last night?
What was it, Brother Dan?
Seeing. Should I say this on the air?
Well, yeah, you've already started down that road.
You've already.
So I saw Randy McNally's mustache, and I thought, I don't want to look like that. And I shaved it off.
Yeah, but
I don't want to kick a guy when he's clearly down.
well, but you're not commenting under pictures of
No, I'm not.
that nature.
No fire emojis or heart emojis for me to.
Just trying to make some young whippersnapper feel better. That's all I'm trying to do.
Trying to provide words of encouragement.
Oh yes.
I have my own words of encouragement for the guy
Goodness.
that McNally was encouraging. I would encourage him to put some clothes on.
I would encourage Mr. McNally to be a little more discreet.
That's exactly right. So anyway, it was a good vacation. I did decide to shave off the mustache. It was starting to tickle the bottom of my nose.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Amy initially liked it, and then it started to prick. If I was coming in for a little smoochy smooch. And the last thing I need is for Amy to have yet another reason not to, whatever. Anyway, so there you go. So the mustache is gone.
Darn it.
What do you guys think of my return so far this morning?
Stop it, man. I can't.
So anyway, and I blame the whole daylight spring forward thing.
That's
what's going on.
That's his fault.
It is that darn daylight saving time
Thing.
Yeah, that thing.
So we all know my problems as of late with hitting my head, right? We know that there's been an issue there. When I was in Washington, D.C., I ran into the thing and I split my head open. Remember that.
Yes.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
On my vacation, last day of vacation, I'm putting a pot away in our rental home. Airbnb, whatever it is. I stand up. I hit my head
Dang.
on the open cupboard.
Yeah.
And I, of course, start bleeding. Oh, it was so painful. Amy's like, "Are you okay?" As I'm bleeding from the head.
Yeah, I love when wives ask that when you're clearly hurt. Are you okay?
No, I'm bleeding from the head.
And especially if they're laughing, you're in pain. Are you okay?
Oh. So, so my new nickname in the house is Crash, and she wants to just put a helmet on me, just at all times. I need to wear like a crash helmet. And then this morning, I kid you not, this morning my alarm goes off, and I drop my phone. I go to get my phone.
Wham.
Wham. Can you see it on the camera? Can you see that big thing, like right around there? And so again, I'm bleeding again. It's like, how many times can I hit my head?
Dan.
When I had hair, this never happened. It's only now that I've shaved everything off that I'm gonna be like Les Nessman. Just every day, I'm gonna have a bandage on some part of my head.
Well, he had him on his head and his arms.
Yes.
I don't know why he had him on his arms.
As long as we don't have to knock on an imaginary door. I think we're fine.
Well, and so very funny,
my gosh.
Johnny. I actually should have some bandages on my arm, my left arm. Now, I don't know if you folks can see that, but on the camera, and I shouldn't be doing this for the radio listeners. But so we are at Cape Kennedy, Cape Canaveral and Kennedy Space Center.
Yeah.
And so Riker gets this Challenger or this space shuttle toy thing. Well, unbeknownst to him, it's got a really sharp point.
Uh-oh.
And so I love Riker. He gets so excited about things. And when he gets excited about things, he lashes out and he likes to hit me and wrestle and all those things. So he takes this Space Challenger thing and just starts jabbing me in the arm, not knowing that it's got a sharp point, and I start bleeding profusely from my arm. I said to Amy, I've actually got puncture wounds. It's like when you just start adding up all the things that happened to me.
God, no wonder you're so happy to be back.
Now, thank God, the only thing worse than that would be having money in Silicon Valley Bank.
Oh.
Which thankfully I don't.
Yeah, well, you're getting it all back.
Yes. We'll get into that in the 6 and also the 8 o'clock hour. But we were at Kennedy Space Center, saw a rocket launch. That was a lot of fun. And that was absolutely the highlight. I don't know if you guys have ever seen a rocket launch in person.
Not in person.
No.
It is amazing.
I bet.
So we had a good time there. We also went to Universal Studios. Not Disneyland, by the way, for you people that called me a hypocrite because you thought I went to Disneyland. I went to Universal Studios. And I'm not much of a roller coaster guy. I used to be, not much anymore. Amy's got back problems. So Amy can't go on roller coasters anymore.
Right.
So you know who got to go on roller coasters with Riker?
You.
Me.
Go, brother.
I hate roller coasters. And I had to go on some of these things. There was one called, I think it's the Velociraptor roller coaster at Universal Studios.
That sounds
I got to
deadly.
look it up.
Oh, my Lord. This thing, I have never been on a roller coaster that was so fast, so hairy, so scary. How bad was it? At the end of the ride, because I'm sitting next to Riker, and all through the roller coaster ride, this is me on a roller coaster. Oh, God. Oh, no. You know, that's what I do. I don't know why. Amy thought that it was funnier, when she could go on the roller coasters. She thought it was really funny. So I kid you not, guys. I thought I was going to pass out. It was that fast. And the loops, you're going upside down.
Oh, yeah, it's constant. I'm looking at it right now. You're constantly going upside down.
So Riker takes his little 9-year-old hand and he places it on my arm.
Yeah.
That has, by the way, been punctured by him. And he says, Dan, are you okay? Because I thought I was going to pass out. And he's looking at me, and apparently like my eyes were in the back of my head. You know what I mean? And it was just, oh, my Lord.
Oh, Dan.
Yeah?
I wish you'd have been taking a video of that.
And so people, of course, now are laughing at me because they heard me I'm not screaming. I'm like just sort of.
What were you doing?
Praying out loud. Oh, God. Oh, God, help me. Oh, no. Yeah, that's what I do. Anyway. So I did a lot of drinking during the vacation. I think I may have had about 7 or 8 pounds of rum that I drank over the past week. One, because I've just had so much pain inflicted upon me from open cabinets and Riker stabbing me with a space shuttle.
7 or 8 pounds of rum.
Oh, well, here's the thing. So it used to be, before this vacation, it used to be that Amy, I would always count on Amy to make me drinks. Well, she finally got tired of it, and she told me how to make the drinks myself. Big mistake. I'm now an official alcoholic. Because I'm putting in rum, and I've got cranberry juice and orange juice and some other kind of juice. It was just really good. And so by the end of the vacation, it was like, all right, I got to get home. I got to get home because I got no reason to be sober. I'm on vacation. There's no real reason to be sober. You know, we're crossing the street and going to the beach and hanging out.
Yeah.
By the way, that whole buried in the sand photo, can I just tell you, I was incredibly drunk.
Really?
Yeah, can't you? I was like, I can barely.
No, Dan. It was only, it looked like 10 o'clock in the morning.
So? I'm on vacation.
Hey, kid, don't you remember the one eye open?
Yes. Oh, Brother Dan Mandis.
We were calling him Walt Mandis.
Oh.
It was a good time.
I could tell. It looked like
we had a great vacation.
It looks like a great time.
Yes, it does.
Amy does a fantastic job of filming. She has some great shots of the rockets going off. And
Yep. And she actually put together some Instagram videos.
All right.
If you want to find her on Instagram, you can go ahead and,
maybe put some fire emojis underneath
3 hearts
them.
and fire emojis there if you'd like to.
Just to encourage her.
Randy McNally will be right on that. I'll be perusing the social media today. Dan Mandis.
You know, all my time on social media, Johnny.
Do you have any pictures of you with your in search of your underwear? 'Cause I love that story. When you found them.
No.
That was a great story.
I'm thinking I didn't lose my underwear on this vacation, but you're talking about, way back
then.
Yeah. No.
That was a great.
Have you guys ever received a fire emoji? In all my time on social media, I've never received a fire emoji from anyone.
I haven't either, and especially anybody that's that's serving in the. In politics.
Every once in a while I get a heart emoji when I actually say something that is correct or whatever.
Wow.
But I never received it. Can you ever get a fire emoji?
Not that I recall, man.
Even when I was dating Amy, I never got a fire emoji.
I've never gotten a fire emoji. All I ever get is, how'd you marry somebody that looked like her?
Oh, there you go. The most common emoji I usually get is like either the eye roll or the face palm.
Yes.
That's what I usually get.
Oh.
Very rarely do I get a heart emoji, never get a fire emoji.
Well, we'll be sending you one from the State House.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, don't worry. I like to encourage people. Yeah.
I would encourage that young gay male to put on some clothing.
Yeah.
Please, put on some clothes.
It's just like rainbows every day.
Rainbows and sunshine. It's Nashville's Morning News.
Stover's Liquidation welcomes the new year with tons of new ways to save for your home or business. More great deals on flooring than ever before. Porcelain tile in several colors and sizes, only 39 cents per square foot. And a huge selection of floating luxury vinyl plank starting at just 99 cents per square foot. Remember, Stover's Liquidation is your headquarters to save tons of money on appliances, HVAC, and much, much more. Easily save 40 to 60% off what you would pay at a big box store. Shop us in Murfreesboro or anytime at stoversliquidation.com.
.558 Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Coming up next, the failure of Silicon Valley Bank and the failure of the Biden administration to protect our southern border. You want to talk about a rush for the border. Did you see what happened over the weekend? Details on both and a whole lot more straight ahead. It is Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
6 o'clock on the dot this Monday morning. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. We're staring down a freeze warning. Got the timeline for you during the full forecast and traffic in 5 minutes. The federal government stepping in after the failure of Silicon Valley Bank in California and Signature Bank of New York. Just days after regulators shut down the California bank after what is the second largest bank failure in U.S. history.
The Federal Reserve last night announced clients at both banks will get access to all their funds when branches open today, not just the $250,000 insured by the FDIC. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen insists this is not a bailout because the funds are coming from a pool of money paid into by Wall Street, different than the taxpayer-funded bailouts of 2008.
That's Andrew Dimbert reporting. An incident some describe as a riot on the southern border yesterday afternoon near a crossing in El Paso.
About 1,000 migrants rushed a bridge linking Mexico to El Paso